Chris asked, we've seen some recruiting of JUCO folks. Is that a philosophy that you will extend, or is this sort of hey, we got to make some we got to get some people in here right now?
It's all based on what you need and the player. I would hate to go on there and say no, we're not going to recruit, because there's tremendous stories that come out of the JUCO ranks, and some of my favorite players of all time have come out of the JUCO ranks and have done a tremendous job both on the field and off. So yes, we will be addressing some needs through the JUCO ranks from time to time. Do I think it's the best way to build your program for the future and from the ground up and have no, just because it doesn't make sense to bring a guy in for 2 years. Yeah. So you want to develop them, you want to be in your program for 4 years. So, we're gonna address that year by year, and we'll always recruit several, a couple guys to plug some holes.
You mentioned facilities. Obviously, the big announcement last week about the $110 million renovation to Commonwealth Stadium and the Nutter training facility. How big is that for the program? It's something they've been trying to get done here a long time. Looks like it's finally going to get done. How big do you think that is?
Very big. I think, again, it goes to the commitment of our fan base, and it goes to the commitment of our administration. And so I think, it's just exciting time for everybody. We need it. We need to improve. If we want to compete at the level that we want to compete, then you need to do these things. And, obviously we're going to need some seats in the stands, and we're going to get that.
Kentucky high school football, again, doesn't produce a ton of players, but actually has a couple programs nationally known for talent, et cetera. There had been some complaints I've heard over the years from coaches saying, well, I don't feel like the UK coaching staff reaches out to high school coaches as much as they should, et cetera. For you, how important is it to you to build those high school coaching relationships across the state?
Oh, I think it's very important, and I think it's very important to always have an open door. Our doors will be open to any high school coaches, and certainly the coaches in Kentucky. We want them to come, watch us practice and study football with us once in a while and come to our clinics and be around us. Again, my father was a high school coach for 30 years. My oldest brother's a high school coach. Those are the people that gave me the roots in coaching. That's where it all started. A lot of people talk about myself and my brothers and where we come from and how did we get into all this and all that. Well, it's very simple. We came from a great high school football program, and we were around great people that affected us in a positive way. So we have great admiration and great respect for the high school coaches, and we want all of them, and especially the Kentucky people, to come visit us. And it's very important for me to get out and reach out to them and our coaches to be in every school, and we will do that, and we will stop in once or twice a year at every school, whether they have a prospect or not, and just to build those relationships. So
there's a lot of schools in this state. Don't forget, we have all these little tiny ones. If
funny you say that. Coach Brown and I are getting on the road tomorrow morning and heading out to some Kentucky schools just to shake some hands and say hello to some people.
But they will love that, I can guarantee you. All right, I'm going to do a mea culpa here, because I feel like, in full disclosure, I'm going to do a mea culpa, but I will tell you, I've said for years, and listeners have known this, I've gotten a hard time from some. I just didn't see how you could win at a big level at this school, just because of mostly the recruiting base. And then you have to play these, you're going to play 5 top 10 teams next year probably on your schedule. And I have said for a long time, look, if they can win 6 or 7 games a year, fans should be happy. This is a tough schedule. Then you came in. And I have to tell you, in a month and a half, you've actually changed my expectation a little bit, partly by who you're recruiting, but also the attitude that you've had in terms of, look, we can do this here. Maybe I'm wrong, but I sense you really believe that. It's not just you're saying it to get the fan base. You really believe it can happen here.
Absolutely.
Help. You've convinced me. Help convince some of the other folks listening.
Well, absolutely. We believe. Well, why would you not get it done here? I mean, it's a great place to live. It's a great school with great support. We have the financial backing, and sure, you've got to overcome some as far as numbers of in-state recruits. But again, I think we have a great product to recruit to, and again, it goes back to what I said earlier: recruit, develop the players you have. That's part of coaching. That's weight strength people. That's people that affect your players in any which way. It's academic people. There's a lot of people, within your organization that you got to have on the same page, and you got to have a great commitment to. I feel like there's a great commitment here. We're still restructuring and organizing it the way that we want to get it done. But everybody that affects these kids need to affect them in a positive way, and you got to develop them, and that's your job as a coach. So there's great players here right now. Do we need more? Absolutely. We need a lot more. But that's our job, to recruit more players, to surround the players that are here, and it's our job to develop the players that are here. So it's a big process, and it doesn't happen overnight. As you know, in football, it takes a lot of good players.
Yeah. Do you look at that? We got about 30 seconds before the break. I got you for one more segment. So about 30 seconds. That schedule next year? It's a daunting schedule, but do you like that? Do you like the fact?
I do. It's funny. You don't really study it too much when you get here because you have so many things to do. But I was just down in the weight room this morning checking on some of our guys, and we have it right outside and I was looking at it again here just a little while ago, and you're right. It's
something else.
It's something else. Let's go.
But, hey, you got some good home games. Got some good teams.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a couple of questions from you. 502-571-1080, 877-904-1080. If you have a question, one more segment with Mark Stoops when we return. This is Kentucky Sports Radio.
Information, visit jdpower.com.
Thanks for listening to Kentucky Sports Radio on Talk Radio 1080.
Welcome back, Kentucky Sports Radio. A little Toby Keith. We asked Coach, give me a musician that you'd like to come into, and he said Toby Keith. You like Toby?
Absolutely. I like Toby.
I'm with you. Yeah. Listen, we could do Toby at karaoke sometime if you want. You just let me know.
I don't know if you want to hear that.
502-571-1080, 877-904 today. We're going to take a couple calls from the fans. I listened to your first call-in show. You got some great calls to start with. I got to tell you, we played some of them on here. That was sort of a welcome to Kentucky, Coach. How you doing?
It was great.
Let's go to David. How are you, David?
Hey, Matt. Hey, Coach Stoops.
How you doing, David?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited for your program, and I'm very excited for this team. And I have a question. Mm-hmm. Are you going to try any trick plays this year?
Thank you, David.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's always a few that you'd like to incorporate. Of course, when they don't go good, David, I don't want you getting on my case, because as we know, if they work, man, then you're a genius. And if they backfire and you lose 15 yards, you look like a big dummy.
Miles knows.
But we'll have a few in there. Yeah,
Les
definitely.
Miles gets it. He's the mad scientist when it works. I'll tell you now, this next guy is we have a lot of callers on here who are football fans, but this next guy is about as big a football fan as we have. He talks football 12 months a year. I know he's excited. Paul, how are you, Paul?
I'm good. How are you, Coach?
I had to run Paul, but that's okay. I'm sure you're nice too, Paul.
How you doing, Paul?
I'm good. What do you think the chances of being able to break 500 and be able to play Louisville strongly?
Great question. I hate to put numbers on anything. You're going to hear me talk, and it may be a little bit boring, but I'm going to talk a lot about the process. And, we have an awful lot to do between now and winning our first game. And so, I know that's not the exciting thing to hear, but I don't want to put any limitations on our guys. We're going to go out and compete to win each and every game, and it's all about a process for us. And as far as Louisville goes, they've done a tremendous job. Coach Strong does a great job. A lot of respect for their program, but we're here to compete. Believe me, we're here to win each and every game, and we're going to attack that process to win each game.
Thank you very much. First of all, I like that answer. Let me tell you why I like that answer. Charlie Strong, now it's famously to the fans of this state. He said 2 years ago when they came into Commonwealth Stadium and they won, he told his players in the locker room after the game, because they then came out and told the media, now that we've beat them, we're never losing to them again. So I think the fans would like to hear you say that ain't going to be the case.
Well, I think my response to that. Trust me, again, we go out to compete to win each and every game, and Louisville will be high on our list.
There you go. I love it. I like that.